Well, I think two things. I mean, the first is I'm an old-time court reporter. I covered courts back in the 80s and early 90s, and you always had a credibility problem when you had we used to call them jailhouse snitches, come in and testify on behalf of the prosecution in a major case. This is slightly different than that, mainly because Michael Cohen pleaded not guilty, got convicted, and now is being called upon to be a defense witness when there's really nothing for him to gain from this other than telling the truth. So their motivation could be a liability for him there, mainly because if he is telling the truth, the defense could say, well, he's enacting revenge or he's getting his pound of flesh, whatever. But basically, there is a problem with the credibility here. However, I'll point to, again, we do have checks. We do have a trail of evidence that kind of points to what Michael Cohen is saying is the truth. He was the beneficiary of Trump's scheme. He was Trump's fixer. He knows where all the bodies are buried. We also had David Pecker, who testified before the grand jury, who enacted this scheme, came up with it, decided that it would be best to help Donald Trump get in the White House. So it's not like there's nothing there. And I would emphasize again, this is not a case that has an absence of evidence. As a matter of fact, most of the evidence was presented in journalism when this whole scheme kind of unfolded. So it's really kind of laughable to claim that this is a political prosecution based on thin air. Secondly, he's going to have a problem. The prosecution is going to have a problem with a couple of other defense witnesses. Weisselberg probably, given his stance, probably will not testify against, quote unquote, the boss, as he called him. He's going to jail basically because he flipped, and that part of flipping was not testifying against Trump. So there's a lot of schemes involved in here, a lot of moving parts. It's going to be a tough case to prove. Nobody knows exactly what's going to happen. Anyone who says they do probably doesn't really understand the justice system or is probably whistling past a graveyard.